morning, everyone. It is December 3rd, and I woke up with the intention of getting some coffee on, doing a video, and then getting some more reading done. And then realized I have no creamer, and I'm about out of coffee. So, this is the care you get today. Also, Ezra is being immensely needy this morning, apparently. But last night, I sat there and read pretty much all of Gone Girl. Like, I had maybe 3 chapters read before that. Pardon me. Oh my god, Ezra, you were ridiculous. But that was Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn. I loved it. It was amazing. The ending made me want to throw the book across the freaking room, but other than that, it was so good. The characters, the main characters, they're so complex, I guess is the light way of putting it. They're immensely complex, and the plot, it twists all over the place. Like, even when you think that it's completely done twisting all over the place, it's like, nope, veers all the way to the left. And I loved it. I love being surprised like that. And I don't like unnecessary plot twists, but this didn't feel unnecessary in any way. Apparently, I'm just being assigned to Ezra love this morning. She jumped up right as I was about to start recording, otherwise I would have just waited. But yeah, definitely recommend Gone Girl. I gave it a 4.5, and the only reason that I gave it a 4.5, well, 2 reasons. One, the ending, because, oh my god, it made me want to throw the book across the room, like I said. It was just, it was kind of terrifying, honestly. Yeah. And then there was kind of a lack of representation. There was a lot of white, cis, heterosexual, privileged individuals in the book, and that's kind of what the cast sticks to. And don't get me wrong, there's a point to it, but still, it could have used some more diversity. Like, it's unrealistically white and straight and cis and rich. But other than that, I absolutely adored it. The characters, I hate them. They're so well written. They're such good characters. They're so complex and layered. There's just so much to them. Like, it feels like until the very last page, you're still learning more about these characters and how they think. Oh, God. Especially the wife, Amy. And for those who don't know, the book is basically... Okay, where do I start? Nick and Amy, they are this couple who are just, like... Okay. Well, they start out just, massively in love. Can't take their eyes and their hands off of one another. They feel like they're meant to be with one another. And we see from the beginning that Amy is a little bit of a control freak and a little bit of a perfectionist. And Nick, he has some major father issues, issues with his parents in general. Pardon me, I'm getting a bit of a cough. But that's where they start us off, kind of, and you learn that their relationship started taking a downturn after a little while, once the two of them started showing who they really are. And basically around that point, Nick, he comes home from working at the bar, and he finds that his wife is missing, and the furniture is overturned, and it looks like there was a struggle. And he ends up implied in a murder investigation. So he's sitting here trying to be as likable as possible, even though he doesn't honestly know how to be all that likable. He's not a very likable person. So he's trying to convince the cops and the public that he didn't do it, and that he's this really likable guy. And he's just terrible at it. Absolutely terrible. And I don't really want to say much more than that, but it is absolutely worth a read. I loved every minute of that book. I'm starting to wonder if this is going to be like my new shtick. Like every time I start recording, Ezra's going to jump up on me and start licking me. Because it kind of seems that way lately. Someone's very needy. But yeah, last night, well, I guess more this morning, I tried to start reading this before I zonked out finally, but it didn't really work. I stayed up all night reading, by the way. I went to sleep maybe like 6 or 7 a.m. I was up all night. I had no intention to be, but I really started going on Gone Girl, so I couldn't sleep. I couldn't not figure out how everything went and how it ended. But anyway, we're not talking about Gone Girl anymore. We're talking about Brother Odd, which I've officially started, and I'm loving it so far. I don't know if Dean Koontz is using language differently in this one, or if I would just forget how much I love his writing, but it just immediately drew me back into the universe, and automatically made me want to go on another adventure with Odd, because the second one, Forever Odd, that I mentioned wasn't as good as the first. I still loved it. I still love Odd Thomas, and I want to read everything that he has to offer. I need you to calm down. Oh, God. Let's change places. This is really grade A professional vlog material coming at you. But yeah, I'm not very far in it so far, but I really love it so far. I'm gonna use that phrase a few more times. But today I'm basically going to do some reading, and I'm considering joining another readathon, but I honestly don't know if I have it in me, because I've already got so many books that I'm planning on reading this month. It's a pretty big stack. And I know the last couple of months I've done a really good job of keeping up with my expectations, but I also have finals this month, and you know, the holidays, so there are going to be several days where I can't read because I'm wrapping presents, or hanging out with my family, or going to a dinner, or, you know, taking finals. So, I don't know, I feel like I'm going to lean heavily on audiobooks this month, even though I do have the physical copies of most of the books that I'm planning on reading, because, yeah, I can kind of just listen to an audiobook and do my chores, or wrap presents, or whatever I need to do. I can't really do it and go to dinner, but, you know, I guess that, what people didn't know wouldn't hurt them. Something to consider. Anyway, this is day 1 of my vlog, I suppose, but day 3 of December. I'm doing a great job so far, as you can tell. I don't really have any other, like, what do you guys call it? See, I'm not awake. I shouldn't be making this video, but I'm not magically going to produce coffee in the next few hours, and then it'll be dark. Bookmas! I'm not really going to participate in many Bookmas activities, because we don't generally put up a tree, and I'm not religious, and my husband's not religious, and my family, they're just kind of all over the place. Like, some of my family is Christian, some of my family is Jewish, some of my family is atheist, agnostic, and yeah, so basically we end up having one tree in my mother's house, and that's kind of it. I've got a little elephant sitting up that has a Christmas tree, and technically we've got a little, like, 6-inch Christmas tree that we put up sometimes, but honestly, I don't see the need. But who knows, maybe I'll just randomly be hit by the Christmas spirit and decide to throw one up. Well, right after I finish recording everything that I wanted to say, Ezra jumped down. Of course, that's how it works. Anyway, yeah, sorry for the face today. Like, I didn't even give a single fuck today. This is the extent of my beauty routine this morning. Not that I owe you an explanation, I'm just saying. Good morning, everyone. It is December 4th, making it my second day vlogging for the Books of Years Past Readathon. I'm a little behind, but you know what? It'll be okay. This morning I finished Brother Odd by Dean Koontz, and it was great. I loved it. there were a few things I had wrong with it. It was published back in 2006, I think, so some of the language was a little bit problematic. I don't think it was intentionally so, but, you know, times change. But that was one of the issues that I had. And there's also a character that repeats himself in all three of the books that I've read so far, and he's a 400-pound man. I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but he's sort of Odd's advisor, sort of like a parental figure. The closest thing that he has to a functional parental figure at this point. But he is about 400 pounds, and one of his defining characteristics is that he likes to eat. And it bugs me when people make characters like that. I don't know. Excuse me. It would be one thing if, like, I don't know, it had been normalized at this point to have plus-size characters in books and movies that don't have that defining characteristic, that they are a chef, or they love to eat, or they love to cook, or they always have some kind of food in their mouth. But yeah, that bugs me. That being said, I enjoyed the rest of the book. Nope, I've got one more thing. He got a little religious in this one, but I guess that's to be expected because it takes place in a monastery. So the main character, the protagonist, he doesn't necessarily get religious, but everyone around him definitely is. There's a lot of talk about God. But other than that, I thought it was an enjoyable book. Basically, he has gone to a monastery to escape for a little while and try to find some peace of mind, and he's been able to escape for a little while, because he can see ghosts and dead people, and it has brought him nothing but trouble so far, basically. I can't say why he's upset because it's a big spoiler for the first book, but he had a huge tragedy befall him at the end of the first book, and that's part of why the second book was so weird, I think. And then in the third one, he's kind of trying to get away from it all, find some peace of mind, figure out who he is again, and what he wants to do with his life. And eventually everything catches back up with him, and, you know, ghosts start popping up again. And it just kind of goes on a wild ride from there. Basically, one of the brothers at the monastery ends up going missing, and he has to figure out why. And that's about all I can say because it gets very spoilery and a little bit off the rails, I guess would be one way to put it. I'd give this book about 4 stars, which I think is less than I gave the first one, but more than I gave the second one. I don't know, because it was kind of in between. It wasn't as good as the first one, I'm not going to say it is, but I still loved it. I thought it was really enjoyable. Now, that means that I fulfilled the first challenge, which was to read a book or books you've been meaning to read for a long time. And I'll be moving on to the second one, which is to start/continue/finish a series you've been putting off. And for that, I chose his Dark Materials, or the Golden Compass series. As I said in my TBR video, I've read the Golden Compass before, but it was like in 6th or 7th grade or something like that. It was a long time ago, and then after that, I just didn't pick up the other 2 books. Like, I have them. I have the physical copies. I just didn't end up reading them. And the reason this is so different is, as in the first book is different from the other 2, is because I lent out the first one to one of my friends because I really enjoyed it, and I really enjoyed it, and I like sharing books that I enjoy with my friends. But this particular friend ended up disappearing with my book. See, this is why I have trust issues when it comes to my books now. I won't lend them out unless, like, I really trust someone at this point, because the same thing happened with half my Stephen King books, and we think the first 2 or 3 books of the Game of Thrones series. I have one of them now, if that tells you anything. Let's see. Yeah, Storm of Swords. That's the only one I have at this point. But yeah. I'm also starting the audiobook for, I think, Damn it. Okay, for number 7. I'm skipping ahead a little bit, but I really have just been wanting to read this book, so I decided to read this one as an audiobook while I'm physically reading the other 3, because I don't have the audiobook for Golden Compass or any of the others. And that's A Wrinkle in Time by Madeline L'Engle. And the challenge for number 7 was read a book you wanted to read as a child or reread a childhood favorite. So I'm going to get started on that. I'm about 30 pages into that one right now, I think, and I'm really enjoying it. Excuse me, this cough is not going away. Or the sniffles, and I hate it. But anyway, I just wanted to update you guys on my progress, and you see, I actually put on makeup and, got dressed in actual clothes today. I'm not just sitting around in my pajamas. And I still don't have coffee. I just actually slept. It's amazing what you can do when you actually sleep. It's a wild concept. For me, especially, I know. Anyway, that's my update. Let me know how you guys are doing. I forgot to mention that I found out that apparently I'm missing like 1 or 2 of the books from the Maze Runner series. Why didn't y'all tell me? But yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to look for the copies of the books I'm missing. I don't know. Hopefully I can find a cheap copy or maybe the audiobook or something. I have no idea. I just know I'm kind of pushing it. But thankfully my readathon won't be until like the end of December, so it won't be much of an issue. Also, my cat very much wants my attention right now, and apparently I have something on my teeth. That's awesome. Quality content. 10 out of 10. What are you doing? This is my life. Occasionally, big gray fluffy beanbags jump on me. Anyway, I just wanted to kind of update you guys on that situation. I don't know what I'm going to do, but we'll see. You want to sit by Ezra? She doesn't give a fuck. Guys, I just had that stuff on my teeth for like the whole video. It's gone now. But I went back to watch my video to edit it a little bit, because I'm trying to edit it, like as I film, so it's less overwhelming. As you see, Ezra's still on me. But yeah, I went back and there's this huge blotch of purple on my tooth the entire time. I can't believe I didn't notice it. I have no idea how I didn't notice it. See, this is what I get for not making eye contact with the camera enough. Got a big problem with that, don't I? There's someone walking around outside. Ezra's in trance. Anyway, yeah, sorry about that. My tooth is not literally just rotting off as I film the video. Anyway, bye. Hey guys, do you hear that? Do you hear that sound? Good morning, everyone. Which can't guess why I'm in such a good mood. I have a problem. Anyway, I hope that you guys are having a good day so far. This is my 3rd update, I believe, for Books of Years Past Readathon. I finished another book last night. A Wrinkle in Time. I know I kind of jumped way ahead on this one. I jumped all the... Excuse me. I'm very dainty, as you can tell. But I skipped ahead all the way to number 7, which was... Crap, I am unprepared. I believe it was something along the lines of read a book that you've always wanted to. One second, I'm going to look that up. It turns out it's read a book you wanted to read as a child or reread a childhood favorite. I figured it was something like that, but I couldn't remember the exact wording. Anyway, I absolutely loved it. You're probably getting tired of me saying that, but honestly, I absolutely loved it. I've enjoyed all the books that I've read so far. I think it's because I actively picked books that I've been wanting to read. And I think that makes a huge difference when you pick out things specifically for you and your tastes. And you're not just like, wonder what this is. But yeah, there was a lot more sci-fi to it than I expected. Like, apparently I didn't know much about this book at all, like, just the little bit that I'd heard from other people, and I'd seen the advertisements for the movie that came out recently. It's like, oh, there's Oprah. Cool. And I knew there were a lot of fantasy elements, but I didn't know there was freaking sci-fi. I didn't know there was damn space travel, traveling to parallel universes and crap like that. It was amazing. It was so good. But yeah, I really feel like I would have enjoyed it a bit more if I'd read it when I was younger. One thing that I did enjoy about it, though, is that Madeleine L'Engle, she writes in a way that isn't infantilizing to her readers, I don't think. She writes to them as though they're people. Wild concept. She doesn't talk down to her readers, and I think that's great. I feel like more people should definitely do that. Yeah. I actually didn't know that it was a series at first, so I got all the way to the end, and then I will read you, like, the last line. Crap. That is not the last line. There's, like, a questionnaire in here, too, like, asking how you enjoy the book. What did you want to be when you grew up? The list is too long for me to tell you. Anyway, the last couple of paragraphs are, Mrs. Whatset, I'm off to a great start. Mrs. Whatset said breathlessly, "Oh, my darlings, I'm sorry we don't have time to say goodbye to you properly. You see, we have to," but they never heard what it was that Mrs. Whatset, Mrs. Who, and Mrs. Witch had to do, where there was a gust of wind and they were gone. And I was like, that's an interesting way to end your book. And then I turned it over, you know, which I probably should have done way before, and it's a freaking series. I had no idea. If I had known that, I probably would have went ahead and put them on the list to go with this readathon, but there is no way I'm adding more crap to my list to read now. I've already got so much, and I don't even know if I'm going to finish it all. If I do, though, I'll probably go ahead and stick those on there. Update on the Maze Runner front. I think I'm going to just wait and read the prequels after the readathon and maybe just read the 3 main books during the readathon, because I can't seem to find a cheap copy anywhere, and I'm spending all my money on, like, bills and Christmas presents and holiday travel this month, and don't necessarily have a lot to spare on myself. But who knows? Maybe one will pop up that's cheap. I don't know. I think it's still fairly new-ish, like 2016. I know I went to a couple of used bookstores yesterday, and neither of them had them. So that was disappointing. One more thing, I think I'm expecting for The Hate You Give to come in today. I'm really hoping it does. Not that I don't have my work set out for me as it is, you know. I'm also working on the Golden Compass. I started that for the second challenge, which was, I know I've already said all this, but I like to be efficient. That was start/continue/finish a series you've been putting off. So yeah, I'm rereading the first one and then finishing off the other 2, which I had never read before. But yeah, that should be interesting. I have no idea what else to say right now. I guess I'll keep you guys updated on if The Hate You Give comes in. I don't know. Somehow I feel like my mind is more foggy today. A little bit. I don't know. Either way, I'm going to go drink some coffee and read for a little bit. And I have an event going on later today. It's one of my younger brother's birthdays. And, well, it's not today, but we're celebrating today because he had to work on his actual birthday, which sucks. But we're celebrating that, and then my grandmother's birthday is this weekend, so we're just going to go ahead and celebrate that, too. So, yeah, that's why I'm kind of dolled up a little bit more than usual. I never wear eyeliner. That's when you know I'm, like, I'm going the extra mile, like, ooh, eyeliner. Fancy. But yeah, other than that, I'll probably do some studying. Maybe I'll finish the Golden Compass today. I honestly don't think I will. I haven't gotten very far in it. I was kind of focusing on A Wrinkle in Time, which, my bad. Anyway, hope you guys have a good day. It was inevitable. So I've been waiting for The Hate You Give to show up and have just kind of been sitting in my room reading The Golden Compass. And I think I just have to accept that it's not going to come today, which sucks, but you know, it happens. Hopefully it'll show up tomorrow. That being said, I think I'm going to go ahead and post this, because otherwise it is going to be inconceivably long and there's no way that anyone's gonna watch it, including me, because screw that. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna cut it off now, leave it at day 3 and maybe do it in 3-day intervals. But thank you guys for coming along for the ride. I hope that your readathon's going really well. Leave a comment below to let me know what readathons you're taking part in, what you've been reading, how you like it. Have you read any of the books that I've been reading? How'd you like them? And don't forget to like and share and subscribe and all that stuff. I'll really appreciate it. Anyway, bye guys!